All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a guide as to all of the Adept weapon drops that are going to happen in the Grandmasters, which are coming out this reset, all right? And this is going to go over this week, next week, and for the next 4 weeks, and everything is on like a 4 full weekly rotation. So if you want to know what weapons are dropping at the reset, and if you want to know which god rolls you need to chase for currently in the sandbox for PvP and PvE, stay tuned, watch this video, and you might want to bookmark this video because you can come back to it week 2, week 3, so on and so forth. So first up, we have October 5th through October 12th. We're going to have the Plug 1.1 fusion rifle, and we're going to have the Izumi RR4. So at the time of making this video, the reset is going to be in like a few hours from now. And then these are going to be the two weapons that are going to be available for the Adept version. So recently they've done a bunch of changes to fusions, and this is a big fusion season. So this Plug 1.1 is actually going to be pretty fire. You can definitely rock Reservoir Burst is going to be the biggest perk you're going to look for on this bad boy. There's a few other good perks that really stand out, but that's like the big one. Reservoir Burst has always classically been really crazy for fusion rifles. Cornered is also a really cool perk. There's a few other great ones on there. Kickstart for PvP, etc. That's going to be the go-to perk to look for on that one. On the Izumi RR4, you can get triple tap Vorpal, Clown Cartridge Vorpal on this bad boy. Definitely, if you get one of those to drop, I will be very jealous because I've been trying to farm one of those for quite a long while. So that's going to be from October 5th to October 12th. And then next week, October 12th at the reset, the Grandmaster loot will be, we got the Swarm machine gun, and then you have the Palindrome hand cannon. So the Swarm machine gun, right now it's decent. I mean, it does get like one for all Dragonfly. It is one of the rare machine guns that does have Vorpal on it. However, you don't really want to use a machine gun for boss damage. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's rare and it's cool, but it's really not good right now. But if you do want to get one, you know, one for all roll is going to be pretty crazy. You can pair that with Bottomless Grief or Outlaw, and you have a pretty decent roll there. The Palindrome is a top-notch meta PvP hand cannon, though, and you definitely want to try and get a roll that has rangefinder on it, so that way you can compete at long ranges. Quick draw, maybe, Killing Wind to go with that. Or if you want to go the PvE route, it's got a bunch of great perks for that as well. You got Overflow, One for All. It has amazing base stats. So for the week of October 12th to 19th, if you don't already have that God Roll Adept Palindrome, because it's already been in the game for a while now, that's there for you to farm. And we'll see which weeks Bungie makes double loot drops, because it'll definitely be frustrating farming these at times. I did like 2 or 3 hours of Master Nightfalls just recently, and I didn't even get one Hothead rocket to drop, so that was pretty frustrating. The next week after this, though, we're going to have the Comedian Shotgun and the Shadow Price are going to drop. Now, the Comedian Shotgun gets a lot of hate because it really doesn't have the best perk pool overall. But largely this is because the pellet shotguns are just not very good right now in the PvE, and on the PvP side, it doesn't have like the classic like quick draw opening shot that you're looking for. So unfortunately, the Comedian just doesn't hang in the PvP or the PvE realm. You can farm for some really fun, interesting rolls. It does have some crazy perks on it. You got One for All on it. You got Trench Barrel, you got Vorpal, stuff like that. But overall, you know, it's not the best weapon. So no need to really chase after that too much, in my opinion, unless you just want to get a god roll and let it sit and collect dust for who knows how long until Bungie buffs those in PvE. The Shadow Price is a 450 RPM though, and does have some decent rolls. It does have One for All on it. You could pair that really well with like Overflow. But the 450s still don't stand out nearly as well or do as awesome in PvE, and definitely not in PvP right now. So unfortunately, the Shadow Price is kind of a lackluster loot drop as well, in my opinion. So you got two kind of the lame drops on this week, and this will go every 4 weeks. It'll come back to this. So whenever it's this week, you may want to hold off on grinding Nightfalls too much, in my opinion. But the next week coming after this is a decent one, that's for sure, because you got the Hothead Rocket, and this is, out of all of the 8 weapons that are on rotation this season, this is the weapon to chase for. You're definitely going to want Explosive Light on this bad boy. You can get a bunch of other crazy stuff to go with it too. You got Field Prep on there, Demolitionist, a bunch of other options that are definitely very acceptable. But overall, that Explosive Light Hothead will do you really well because it's going to be a little bit stronger than the Ascendancy if it does get something like Field Prep on it. And so the Hothead Rocket Adept, definitely worth chasing October 26th to November 2nd. Along with that, you do have the Hung Jury, which it has some good perks on it, but it is that 180 RPM. The 200 is a little bit stronger. It's got Explosive Payload, One for All, and it does have Firefly on it, which is pretty cool. If you do use Box Breathing on it, it can like 3-tap in PvP, but again, you don't really see that used too much. But there it is. Those are the weapon rotations for you. And then I don't have the exact dates written down, but for example, starting on November 2nd at the reset, the new weapons would be these weapons right here. It would come back to, got the Plug 1.1 and the Izumi RR4 would be back in rotation. So you could grind for those god rolls. and the Nightfalls obviously will be mixed up quite a bit along the way. But this is going to be the loot rotation throughout the entirety of this season. So if you're wondering what week it is, you can come back to this video. You've got October 5th to the 12th. You've got these two weapons. You've got these two, the Swarm and the Palindrome. You've got these two, the Comedian's Shadow Price. And then after that, you've got the Hothead and the Hung Jury. And it's just continuously going on that rotation. So best of luck to you out there in your efforts to farm for a God roll this season. I hope you get a God roll. If you do, tag me on Twitter with whatever rolls you get. I love to see the combinations. Maybe get a good clip using it, PvE or PvP, showing off some perks that otherwise maybe weren't used. And I appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe with the notifications on. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.